The Edmonton Oilers are like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. Yeah, the final 20 minutes of Game 1 was an absolute nightmare, but you might want to forget about that, because last night, they looked dominant. They split the series in Dallas, and I don't know about you, but I'm really excited to see this series go back to Edmonton, which is why it's an absolute pleasure to introduce the sponsor of today's video, SeatGeek. With over 28 million downloads, SeatGeek is now the #1 rated ticketing app where you can find up to 70,000 events that are currently listed. I'm talking sports, concerts, festivals, you name it, SeatGeek's got you covered. The NFL schedule is now released, the MLB is already back, and of course, the NBA and NHL playoffs are already in full swing. Now me, I've already used this app before quite a few times, including last season to buy my Habs tickets, and it's simple. Each ticket is rated on a scale from 1 to 10, so you always know when you're getting a good deal. Just look for the green dots. Green dots are good deals, and red dots, well, they're not so good deals. Each ticket, of course, is backed by their buyer guarantee, and I know some of you Oilers fans are going to be looking for tickets over the next couple of days, so here's my gift to you. Use code Junkie10 for 10% off your next set of tickets at SeatGeek. That's Junkie10 for 10% off just by using this promo code. Alright, here we go. Let's go ahead and set the stage a little bit. 5 or nothing is going to be between the pipes for the Oilers. Ottinger, of course, is the man for the Stars. The puck is dropped. And after a pretty even opening few minutes of the first period, right around the 5-minute mark, we get our first little uh-oh. You see, Granlund picks up a 2-minute minor for boarding, and the Oilers are about to go to work on their first power play of the game. Now, I just wanted to point out that I wasn't really a big fan of this call by the officials. Stitcher looked like he wanted the stretcher on this one. It looks like he sees him coming. I didn't like it, Pete didn't like it, and the Oilers are going to capitalize on this power play. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, who played a great game last night, gives them a 1-goal lead. And after this goal for the remainder of the first period, it felt like the Oilers were just feasting. McDavid, he rings one off the arm. Draisaitl gets robbed. Podkolzin gets robbed by Mr. C-Squared, who's doing everything he possibly can to shut down his former team. And thanks to some of these heroics, when the first period comes to an end, this game is still within reach. But now we're going to move on to the second period, where the Oilers are going to really start to take control of this hockey game. Their forecheck in the O-zone was incredible. It started to create some juicy turnovers. And so far, Jake Ottinger, he's been able to slam the door shut. However, with just under 5 minutes left to go in the period, Brett Kulak is going to pick up his own rebound off of the leg of Mikko Rantanen, and he fires one past Ottinger to give the Oilers a 2-goal lead. I thought this one was a bit of a dagger. I mean, Ottinger didn't really get a chance to get back into position on that second shot attempt, but the real dagger is coming just about a minute later. The Oilers, they've struck again. This time it's Connor Brown making that thing hop. It goes right over Jake Ottinger's pad, and the Oilers are up by 3. Once again, the Dallas Stars have completely fallen off the rails during a second period in this series. But this time, I'm not so sure they're going to get back into it. So off to the third period we go. A very controversial third period. You see, just a few minutes in, we get an incident involving Darnell Nurse and Roope Hintz. Hintz initiates this, in my opinion. Okay, he gives Nurse a little cross-check. I think everybody's leaving that part out. Not really a big deal. Nurse gives him a chop. Completely normal stuff. Okay, I've seen this stuff happen in U11, for God's sake. But the only difference being, he must get him in an area where there's not a whole lot of padding, and Hintz goes down. He's hurt. Apparently, he can't put any weight on that foot. I'm aware there was a lot of Stars fans screaming from the rooftops last night. They were looking for a 5-minute major on this particular play, especially Pete, but I got to go against you here, okay? I don't know how anybody who's been watching hockey all their life can look at this and think that this is anything more than a 2-minute minor. The refs, they review it. They actually get it right. Dallas gets a power play, and it pretty much doesn't do anything at all. They are going to outshoot the Edmonton Oilers 9-2 during the third period of this hockey game, but Stuart Skinner, man, he was having none of it. Maybe I was completely wrong. Let me tell you what I've learned about old Stewie here. If you ain't getting 5, you ain't getting nothing. incredible saves were being made by this man last night. This one right here on Lindell was probably one of the best that I've seen from any goaltender in the 2025 playoffs. That's a clutch stick save. He gets a shutout. The Oilers, they split the series in Dallas, and when you really think about it, out of 6 periods of hockey on home ice for the Stars, they were probably in control of what? For like 2 periods, in my opinion. They played a really good third period in Game 1, and they played a really good third period in Game 2. They like turds. But for the vast majority of these games, Edmonton, they were in charge, okay? They're off to a really good start. They're going back home right now. They got a whole bunch of momentum. It's a golden opportunity to put the Stars in a stranglehold over the next couple of games. And I don't know about you, but I've got some confidence that they're going to be able to make it happen. McDavid, he wants a cup. Draisaitl wants a cup. This lady looks like she wants a kiss. That guy's like, no, you're not getting one. At least not till we get a cup. But I'm expecting the city of Edmonton to be on wheels for games 3 and 4. Can you imagine what it's like over there right now? I spent 10 years living in that area. I know how passionate these fans are. Everybody wants to see them get that title shot again so they can use what they learned last year to try and put them over the edge right now. The Florida Panthers themselves are an excellent example of that. I mean, in 2022, 2023, they made it to the finals only to get smashed up in like 5 games against the Vegas Golden Knights. Now, we all know what happened 1 year later, and it would be really cool to see Connor McDavid and company take that exact same route to the cup. But first, we can't get too far ahead of ourselves because we got to see if Stuart Skinner can shut these guys down for 3 more games. He's 7 shutouts away from a Stanley Cup. I think they can do it. I want to know down in the comment section if you think they can do it. And you can also give me your opinion on the Darnell Nurse slash last night. What do you think? Should they lock him up and throw away the key over this slash? Or was it 2-minute minor the right call by the officials? I want to hear all about it. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to be covering the Edmonton Oilers for the remainder of this playoff race. You don't want to miss out on the action. You could really help me out by hitting that subscribe button. I've been trying to hit 50K here. I've got something pretty cool planned when we reach that milestone. The very least you could do, of course, is drop kick that like button. I love it when you do that. And hey, well, see you next time.